I like Pokemon. Controversial opinion, I know, but despite what people think, I'm really quite optimistic about the future of the Pokemon series. We're finally getting a home console Pokemon game, and judging by the track record of all these previous classic Nintendo outings, I'm sure this one will be a polished and groundbreaking experience. Not to mention, it's got so many new features too. New Pokemon to catch, new Galarian forms, a new region to explore, and a whole new battling mechanic. My oh my, Dynamaxing really looks like a fresh new idea that we've never seen before. I mean, powering up your Pokemon with new moves, sometimes even giving it a stronger form? Oh, I can't wait to experience this totally new spin on the Pokemon formula. You know what? Pokemon has always gotten better with every new game. No important features have ever been left behind, and Game Freak has always met or exceeded fan expectations. I can confidently say that every new game has been better than the last. Oh, Game Freak, you really can do no wrong.
Players will be able to transfer their Pokemon from Pokemon Home only if they appear in the Galar region Pokedex.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Oh, thank you, Game Freak. Now I can add you to the ever-growing pile of disappointment that consumes my life. You know, I really wish I could unconditionally support Game Freak, but the situation with Sword and Shield is really testing me. I know, for some of you, the removal of the National Dex may be meaningless, but for me, this is profoundly disappointing. To think that some of my partners that have been with me since Emerald may be left behind just makes me feel empty. I know that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company certainly have the capacity to make wonderful games. You can see that in nearly every trailer they've shown so far. It's clear that a lot of passion has been put into Sword and Shield. However, they did decide to prioritize other aspects over what I and many others believe is a core part of the Pokemon series. Despite how silly it sounds, Pokemon and catching them all and battling are all very meaningful to me. And I want to show Game Freak just how meaningful a National Dex is. So, in response, I've decided to actually attempt to create a full Pokemon living dex. It's a goodbye to the DS era of Pokemon, but it's also a celebration of all that's come before. Let's prove to Game Freak just how much we care for the games that they create. Let's catch 'em all. Before we start, let me quickly outline a few ground rules. Rule number 1, we must obtain as many different Pokemon as possible and transfer all of them to one main series game. Rule number 2, we must also obtain as many different forms of a single Pokemon as possible. This can range from drastic differences such as regional variants to a simple color change like in the case of Minior. However, these forms must be storable, so battle transformations such as Mega Evolutions don't count, even though a few have separate Pokédex entries in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Rule number 3, we won't be catching every different gender of a Pokemon with gender differences, because even I have to draw the line somewhere, and I choose to draw it at Wobbuffet's lipstick. Unfortunately, due to this rule, we will ignore even substantial gender differences such as Meowstic and Pyroar. Rule number 4, we will not be using the GTS or any other feature that uses online connectivity to catch any Pokemon. aside from Pokemon Bank, as it is currently the only way to transfer Pokemon from Gen 5 up. Rule number 5. We can use any officially released Pokemon game or side game as long as they can add a Pokemon to a main series game. This means we can use games such as Pokemon Ranger, Channel, and Ranch. But we won't be using Pokemon event cartridges as they were never officially for sale. Rule number 6. Cheating devices that directly alter the games, such as Action Replay and GameShark, are not allowed. However, rule number 7. Altering the console itself to obtain Pokemon is allowed. This means we can do things like change the date and time, or, as you'll see when we get to the Kalos games, the region. And finally, rule number 8. Using in-game glitches to obtain Pokemon is allowed, as long as they can be performed without using any external tools. With these rules in place, we can obtain a maximum of 798 out of 809 total Pokemon. The Pokemon that are completely unobtainable, as you might guess, are all mythicals without glitches or repeatable events to obtain them. These Pokemon are Victini, Meloetta, Genesect, Keldeo, Diancie, Hooper, Volcanion, Marshadow, Zeraora, Meltan, and Melmetal. In addition to those 798 Pokemon, we will also be catching 175 different Pokemon forms. These forms are all of the Alolan Pokemon, the entire unknown alphabet, all 4 Deoxys forms, the Burmian Wormadam Cloak forms, East and West Shellos and Gastrodon, all of the Rotom appliances, both Giratina forms, both Shaman forms, all 18 Arceus forms, both Basculin forms, all Dealing and Sourcebuck seasonal forms, the Therian and normal forms of the legendary genies, the Kyurem combination forms, all 18 non-event pavilion patterns, trust me, we'll get into that, the 5 different colours of the Flabébé line, all the different trims of Furfrou, all the sizes of Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist, the 2 boxable forms of Zygarde, all 4 different dance styles of Oricorio, the 2 non-event forms of Lycanroc, all 7 colours of Meteor, both Duskmane and Duskwing's Necrozma, all of the totem-sized Pokemon, and finally, all 18 forms of Silvally. So, in total, we will catch 973 different Pokemon including forms. Now, what do we need to complete this challenge? Many Pokemon are available in multiple different games over different consoles. As such, we can take heaps of different game combinations to eventually catch them all. But the route I believe is the easiest requires the following: 2 Nintendo 3DS systems, 1 Nintendo DS system, Pokemon Ultra Sun, Pokemon Ultra Moon, Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Y2, he's adopted, Pokemon Diamond, a Spanish version of Pokémon Emerald, and finally Pokemon Ranger. Why do we need these specific games, you may ask? Well, there are some Pokemon that are only obtainable in 1 or 2 games, and these Pokemon determine which games we have to play. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are the most recent games released at the time of recording, and as such have some new version exclusives. Blacephalon is only obtainable in Pokemon Ultra Sun, and Stakataka is only obtainable in Pokemon Ultra Moon. X and Y also have version exclusives that haven't been obtainable in any other games. The Swellix line is only obtainable in Pokemon X, and the Spritzy line is only obtainable in Pokemon Y. Pokemon Ranger allows us to obtain a Manaphy egg, which we can transfer to Diamond and Pearl. As of now, this is the only way to obtain Manaphy without an event. Now, this Manaphy is supposed to only be obtainable once per cartridge. However, there are methods to bypass this flag using a homebrew 3DS. This means that we need a Gen 4 game, and a Gen 5 game if we want to transfer up to Ultra Sun. That Gen 4 game ends up being Pokemon Diamond because of the tweaking glitch that lets us obtain Shaman, Darkrai, and Arceus. The reason we choose Diamond is because if we want to transfer Arceus up to Pokemon Bank, we can only do it on Diamond. This is due to Diamond being the original game an event Arceus was released on. Or something like that, I'm not sure. Maybe Pokemon Bank just doesn't like Pearl. The Gen 5 game we need turns out to be White 2, because of funnily enough Glameow of all Pokemon. Fun fact, Glameow is only obtainable in 3 games: Pokemon Pearl, where it was a version exclusive, Pokemon White 2, exclusively from Hidden Grottos via a Funfest mission of all things, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. The reason we don't use Auras to catch it is because, like many rare Pokemon in those games, it can only be obtained via the Mirage mechanic. While Mirage Islands can be found during normal play without online connections, to get more, you either have to connect online with other trainers, or wait 24 hours. You cannot speed up the 24-hour wait time, and the spot that you get is completely random. So because of this, I decided to route out any Mirage Island to catch any Pokemon. Now, there are a few more Pokemon that can be obtained in a few games, and these will determine the rest of the run. Mew can be obtained in Pokemon Ranch by transferring 999 Pokemon, or you can glitch it into Pokemon Emerald. Celebi can be obtained in the eShop version of Pokemon Crystal after beating the league for the first time, or you can glitch it into Pokemon Emerald. Jirachi can be obtained by beating Pokemon Channel in the PAL version, or via the Colosseum bonus disc for you Americans, or you can glitch it into Pokemon Emerald. Deoxys can be obtained by completing the Delta episode in Auras, or you can glitch it into Pokemon Emerald. Laying it out like this makes it pretty obvious as to why we're playing Emerald instead of all those other games. The only issue with that is that I'm not sure if Pokemon Bank will even accept them if we glitch them in. But if worst comes to worst, we always have the second method as backup. But dear god, I really don't want to double the amount of Pokemon I have to catch. Incidentally, catching Deoxys in Emerald allows you to clone it so that you can have all the forms. And while there is a cloning glitch in Gen 6, which we will be taking advantage of, it is much easier to clone in Emerald. We will also be getting the Johto starters in Pokemon Emerald. Now, we could just reset Heart Gold, Soul Silver or Crystal, but obtaining them in Emerald isn't actually that difficult, as we get them while performing another glitch in the previously mentioned Mythicals. The rest are obtainable in the games already mentioned. To decide which ones we catch where, we would usually catch the Pokemon in the latest game possible, so preferring Ultra Sun, or in the game that is easiest, i.e. we'll be catching Feebas in Ultra Sun rather than Emerald or Diamond, for obvious reasons. So, without further ado, let's begin this odyssey with Pokemon Emerald. We begin the game as normal. Set the time, talk to Brendan, and obtain Torchic as our very first Pokemon. Once we obtain Pokeballs, we use them to catch Poochyena, Lotad, and 2 Ralts on Route 102. While it would be easier to obtain Ralts in the later games, we need one here for a specific glitch. Also, Gardevoir is my favourite Pokemon, and it's kind of a tradition for me to catch one on this route every single time I play a Hoenn game. Moving on to Petalburg Woods, we catch Tallow, 2 Shroomish, and a Slackoth. It was at this point that I decided it would be much easier to catch most of the Pokemon once I had beaten the game, since I already had the Shroomish and Ralts I wanted for my party. And we do need to beat the game for specific glitches, such as the famous cloning glitch at the Battle Frontier. So the only Pokemon I caught during the story was a Swablu on Route 114, Corphish in Petalburg City, Castform at the Weather Institute, and 2 Phanpy in the Safari Zone for my party. During the Safari Zone, we also encountered and caught Heracross, so I guess that was a bonus. So here we are! We beat the game with a party consisting of Gardevoir, Donphan, Altaria, Crawdaunt, Breloom, and... Now we do a Hoenn roundup. Most of these Pokemon we catch for convenience sake, mostly so we don't have to breed them. Case in point, we catch 2 Cascoon in Petalburg Woods, because you can only catch Silcoon and Beautifly in Diamond. We could evolve Wurmple into Cascoon, but it has a 50% chance to be a Silcoon, and we can't determine which it will evolve into. So it's just easier to catch Cascoon here. On Route 116, we catch a Skitty to be used as an in-game trade. In Granite Cave, we catch an Aron. On Route 110, we catch an Electrike. On Route 117, we want to catch a Volbeat for another in-game trade. However, it only has a 1% encounter rate, so it's much easier to catch an Illumise and breed it for a 50% chance to hatch a Volbeat. To breed it, we catch a Ditto. We're going to be doing more breeding later on anyway, so now's as good a time as any. We catch a Ditto in Falliber Town in the Fossil Maniac's house. Moving on, we catch a Slugma on Route 113, and we catch a Numel on Route 112. In the desert, we catch a Boltoy and a Cacnea. Surfing over to Mount Pyre, we catch a Duskull, and at Sky Pillar, we catch a Bannet and a Claydol. Another reason we decided to catch Pokemon after beating the game is because there are two that are only obtainable after the Pokemon League. They are a Beldum at Steven's house and a Stantler in the expanded Safari Zone. After this, we complete the 3 in-game trades we need to do. At the Battle Frontier, we trade a Skitty for a Meowth. In Fortree City, we trade that bred Volbeat for a Plusle. And in Rustboro City, we trade a Ralts for a Seedot. Alright, now comes the tough part. We have to perform a news reporter corruption glitch. Currently, this glitch can only be performed in the German, French, Spanish, and Italian versions of Pokémon Emerald. I don't quite understand why, but from what I can gather, it's because different glitch Pokémon have different names in different languages, and due to the way the news reporter glitch works, the length of the name of the glitch Pokémon determines what will be corrupted. Shoutouts to Metakarai for discovering this glitch, and to ChickasaurusGL for creating a really useful tutorial for the Spanish version. Now, the next series of actions may seem ridiculous and pointless, but they are all of the utmost importance. First, we need to get the Enhanced Trainer card from the Battle Frontier. Not too difficult, we already obtained that to get to the Frontier in the first place. Then, we need to enter the Trainer Tower on Route 111. Again, easy, just fly to Morville City and go up and into the tower. On the same route, we also need to defeat the Winstraight family, which is really easy now that I'm the champion. Then, we have to meet Lynette and pick up her gift. So, we fly to Falliber Town and ask her to move away from the PC. Then we travel up to her house and receive a Lotad doll. After that, we have to battle Fisherman Ronald on Route 132. Ronald has 5 Gyarados, which is pretty intimidating. But we managed to finally defeat him through clever strategy and guile. After this, we have to enter a cave or external area such as the Desert Underpass, which, luckily for us, we've already done to catch a Ditto. Finally, we reach our last preparatory step, obtaining the gold battle pyramid symbol from the Battle Frontier. Now I know what you may be thinking. The battle pyramid seems like a fun but fair challenge. Well, you're wrong. The battle pyramid epitomizes everything annoying about Pokemon. Fumbling around in the dark with no idea where to go? Check. An abundance of status conditions? Check. Wild encounters? Check. Oh my god. We made it out. We beat the brain. At least it only took 3 runs. Here we go again.
Get good, you Stunfisk-looking starter-sweeping little shit, and come back when you know how to use a freaking status move.
Yeah, so we didn't beat the battle pyramid. But that doesn't mean we let the battle pyramid beat us. It's time for Plan B. Incidentally, Plan B involves the same glitch that we will use to get some mythical Pokemon. Glitzer popping. Wonder why we decided to get those in-game trade Pokemon? Well, allow me to demonstrate. We can use the Pomegberry glitch to corrupt specific Pokemon in our PC. Don't worry, I'll explain what the Pomeg glitch is later on, but for now all you need to know is that we can corrupt Pokemon in the first and second box of our PC. When we corrupt those Pokemon, a lot of different things can happen, depending on the personality values of the original Pokemon. The thing is, it's really difficult to figure out the personality values without using an external device. Luckily for us, the in-game Pokemon Setot, or Dots in English, has a constant personality value. Its particular personality value means that when it is corrupted, it can become an egg that will hatch into any Pokemon depending on its HP and attack EVs. For example, if Satot had 1 HP EV, when it is corrupted, it would turn into an egg that can hatch into a Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur has the index number of 1 in the Gen 3 games. Now that explains where we get Satot, but why do we obtain Puzzle the Plusle? Well, if you put a puzzle that only knows Growl in front of Satot, it dramatically increases the chances of getting a good corruption. This is because Plusle is the cheering Pokemon, and she's going to do her best to help our Seedots achieve their final form. Now, we want to do a lot of different corruptions, which require lots of Plusles and Satots. Funnily enough, we can also clone Pokemon really easily in Emerald, thanks to the cloning glitch at the Battle Frontier. That glitch is pretty simple. We just save with the Pokemon we want to clone in the PC. Then we withdraw them and go to the multi-battle terminal in the Battle Tower. Enter 2 Pokemon, say yes, wait for the game to ask you to save, and then reset. Reload the game and voila, the Pokemon in your party are miraculously still in the PC. Incidentally, this also clones any item on the cloned Pokemon, so we can use it to get infinite Master Balls, EV raising vitamins, rare candies, and fluffy tails. So let's get these Seedots the EVs they need to turn into the Pokemon that we want. To get a Totodile, we give our Satot 158 HP EVs. To get a Celebi, we give Satot 251 HP EVs. For Jirachi, we give Satot 1 attack EV and 153 HP EVs. For Chikorita, we give Satot 152 HP EVs, but we also want it to be holding the Aurora ticket, so we give it an additional 115 defense EVs and 1 speed EV. For Cyndaquil, we give Satot 155 HP EVs, and similarly, we want it to be holding the Old Sea map, so it also has an additional 120 defense EVs and 1 speed EV. And finally, for the glitch Pokemon that enables the Reporter corruption we will do later, 0x2A12, we will give Satot 42 attack EVs and 10 HP EVs. Now, that's great and all, but without beating the Battle Pyramid, we can't even perform the glitch to get Mew and Deoxys. We need a team made up of only the strongest that this generation has to offer. Through corruption, we can obtain any Pokemon we want, from Kanto to Hoenn. But which Pokemon is the strongest in Gen 3? Metagross? Swampert? Chimecho? There have been whispers of one such Pokemon. One that has been sealed away. One that strikes fear in the hearts of people and Pokemon alike. One that has mastered a technique so powerful that even legendary Pokemon tremble in fear. Its name is Dewgong. What? Were you expecting someone else? Oh, don't be fooled. We're not just talking about any Dewgong. This Dewgong is special. It has access to the signature move E5, a spammable, priority, one-hit KO death touch that can destroy almost every Pokemon in the Battle Pyramid. This Dewgong is Dewgong the Destructor. And we can obtain Dewgong the Destructor through our buddy Puzzle. If we corrupt a Puzzle with Thunder as its first move, 3 more moves, and an EV spread of 51 attack and 47 HP, it turns into a level 100 Dewgong with E5. Alright, we know what Pokemon we need, so all that's left to do is clone and train the Satot and Puzzle so that they have the correct EVs and moves. Once we do that, we clone them again so that we have 6 copies of each. Then we arrange them such that each Pokemon we want to corrupt has a Puzzle that only knows Growl in front of it. We've done enough setup, so let's get to corrupting. To do data corruption in Pokémon Emerald, we can use the Pomeg glitch, which requires a Pokemon at 1 HP and some HP EVs in slot 1. I used the banner we caught earlier because we can easily get it to 1 HP by using Curse, a fainted Pokemon that can fly in slot 2, and any non-fainted Pokemon in our 3rd slot. Finally, before we begin, we need Pomeg berries. A patch of them can be found just outside Fortree City, and if we ever need more, we can just clone them. We go down to Route 101 and save right before entering the grass. This is the last time we can save before performing the glitch. Are you ready? Because we're going to be doing this a lot. First, enter the grass and get an encounter. We send out Bannet, our 1 HP Pokemon. Then we switch to our healthy Pokemon Crawdaunt and run away. After that, we go straight to the PC at the Odell Pokemon Center and deposit Crawdaunt. Then we go back to the grass and give our Bannet a Pomegberry, which faints it. Then, enter the grass again. This feels so spooky, honestly, like I'm committing a crime against Pokemon nature. So, we go into the grass, and instead of sending out Bannet, we send out... Now, we go to our party and check our Pokemon's status. We then leave the status screen and hold up. This allows us to access Pokemon in our PC. We hold up for about 7 seconds and then run away. We black out and return to the Pokemon Center. Now, we look at the PC and check box 2. Check all of the eggs. While most of them are bad eggs, or huevo malo in the Spanish version, there may be a normal egg. We didn't find a normal egg this time, so we just reset and try again. Once we do find a normal egg, we just need to check its data. It needs to say it's making sounds it's about to hatch. Fun fact, Worcester, who discovered this glitch, specifically named it Glitzer Popping because he wanted to make sure that it didn't have a stupid or boring name. I can't help but feel like this was a wasted opportunity. Clearly, it should have been called the Pomeg Glitch. Yeah, his name was better. We do this method with Totodile Seedot, Jirachi Seedot, and Celebi Seedot. Once we have all 3 of our eggs, we just put them in the party with the Slugma we caught earlier. Grind around a bit and... ta-da! A Jirachi! Hatching the other 2, we also get a Celebi and a Totodile. Just like that, we have a perfectly normal Jirachi and Celebi. This is so awesome. We'll fix this later. We still have another 4 corruptions to do. Believe it or not, these first 3 corruptions were actually the easiest. The other 4 are much more difficult because we can't just hatch them from their eggs for various reasons. We want the Chikorita and Cynical to be holding items, and Pokemon hatched from eggs don't have items. We also can't actually get the glitch Pokemon by hatching it, and Dugong the Destructor requires a specific move rather than egg moves, and we want it to be at level 100, so it has some bulk for the battle pyramid. To get these Pokemon, we need to do a double corruption. The method is very similar to the earlier one. We make the same Pokemon pattern in box 2, have 1 Pokemon at 1 HP with HP EVs, and 1 switch Pokemon. We save, battle, deposit, use the Pomegberry, battle again, summary, corrupt, check the eggs and look for a normal one. Luckily for us, we don't need an egg that will hatch early, just any normal egg will do. Now, what we want to do is remove the bad eggs from around it and put 2 more puzzles in front and behind it. While you're doing this, do not touch the egg. It does something funky with the data and ruins the corruption. Once we do this, we do the corruption again. Save the grass, switch, deposit, Pomeg, summary, check the PC. Through double corruption, we get a Chikorita holding the Aurora ticket and a Cyndaquil holding the Old Sea map. We get glitch Pokemon 0x2A12 and Dugong the Destructor. It took a lot longer than I'm making it out right now. Normal corruption is reasonably fast because you have 6 Seedot potentially being corrupted. Double corruption is much more difficult because you have 1, maybe 2 potential good eggs. Anyway, after a bunch of resets, eventually we get all of the Pokemon we need. You know, sometimes I question the methods that we use to get these Pokemon. I mean, every Plusle and Seedot we corrupt goes through this horrific process of unbirth, slowly regressing back into a dreamlike state of semi-consciousness, losing their memories, their sense of self, feeling every aspect that made them truly alive fade away in front of them, each one seeing it happen to its kin before it, powerless to stop it. Do you think those who survive remember anything of their past life? Do they hate me for what I've done? I've achieved the power I seek, by climbing on the corpses of those who trusted me. Was it worth it? It was worth it. What? That's illegal! That's not fair! I'm the only one who's allowed to cheese! Luckily, I had plenty of revives, and I could kill it with Surf. But hot damn! My life just flashed before my eyes. Aside from that Donphan, the battle pyramid was pretty easy. Eventually, we made it to the top and fought the Pyramid King again. And with 3 quick moves, we finally gotten the gold brave symbol. Now that we've done all the preparation, we can start to perform the glitch. We need 4 specific Pokemon in the party. A fainted Pokemon with Fly, a fainted Pokemon with Surf, a Pokemon with 1 HP, Bannet is the easiest, and the glitch Pokemon we got earlier, also fainted. It takes a bit longer to faint the glitch Pokemon, but eventually we're ready. We fly to Slateport City and go to the Pokemon Fan Club. Now, before we perform the glitch, we need to make sure that we have the glitch Pokemon in the first slot of our party. Plenty of Fluffy Tails and at least 1 revive. Then, we use a Pomeg Berry on Bannet, bringing it to 0 HP, save, and then talk to the news reporter. We exit out of her conversation. Then, we fly to the Battle Frontier and surf down to Artisan Cave. In Artisan Cave, we want to repeatedly get wild encounters. You may have noticed that we aren't sending out the usual, but instead a bad egg. What we're aiming to do is get a bad egg that is poisoned or asleep with a maximum HP of 20 and triple question marks as its current HP value. Eventually, after a few encounters, we get the egg we're looking for. Then, we revive a Pokemon, and after Smeagol fails to sketch our egg, it's hurt by poison, even though it's asleep and not poisoned. Well, that's completely fine. It's exactly what we wanted anyway. What's happening right now is the HP is counting down from some massive number all the way down to 20. And as you can see, this took a long time. A really long time. Oh, here it comes! It's getting close! This took literally 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's okay, I did my washing while I was waiting. Once it's finally done, we run using a Fluffy Tail and fly to Slateport City. And with that, we've completed the glitch. Now all that remains is the moment of truth. So, we take the Aurora ticket and the Old Sea map from Chikorita and Cyndaquil and withdraw our party. Then, we take the ferry from Slateport to Lily Cove, and if we talk to the ferry attendant again... Yes! Oh, yes! Oh my god! It actually worked. First, we travel to Faraway Island, and look! Look, it's a Mew! In Emeralds! Without an event! This is crazy. We easily catch it in one of our clone Master Balls. Then we travel back to Lily Cove and use the Aurora ticket to go to Birth Island. On Birth Island, we encounter a triangle. Ooh, mysterious. Oh, look, it's a puzzle. I love puzzles. Wait, why did it go back? Maybe because I touched it on the wrong side? Does it have something to do with where it was the last time? Do I have to touch the opposite side of the triangle from where it was last time? Oh, hey, look, Deoxys. We did it. We caught Deoxys and Mew. Let's test them out. Just so everyone knows, in Gen 3, Mew and Deoxys won't obey any command unless they have the Fateful Encounter flag set. So, seeing them actually obey commands is, well, pretty amazing. If we just used Glitzer Popping and hatched them from an egg, then they wouldn't obey orders and probably wouldn't be transferable. We have a few more things to do before we're done with Emerald. Remember Jirachi? Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Luckily, there is a solution. We can put Jirachi and Celebi into the daycare. We do this because when they level in the daycare, it automatically deletes some of the glitched moves that freeze the game. Eventually, when they level up enough so that they both only have one glitch move left, we can just delete that move with the move deleter. After this, we're going to breed with a Ditto to get a few Pokemon. We want to breed Torchic, Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Chikorita. We need to breed Totodile because it had a few glitch moves, and we need to breed Cyndaquil and Chikorita because they were both level 100. We then clone Deoxys so that later we can get all of its forms, and we clone Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Torchic so that we can have all of the evolutions. And lastly, we're going to give all of our Pokemon an item to transfer to Diamond. We need at least 2 Master Balls and at least 20 rare candies. You'll find out why we need those in part 2. In the end, it's unfortunately kind of a lose-lose scenario here. Either they're all transferable and this whole glitch was for nothing, or Jirachi and Celebi aren't transferable but Mew and Deoxys are, which is okay, at least we don't have to grind for Pokemon Ranch. Or none are transferable, meaning that we have to reroute and play Channel, Ranch, Sapphire, Crystal, and Oras. Oh god. And that's that! We've caught all the Pokemon we need in Emerald. You know, looking back on my journey, it took a long time, but I think it was really worth it. I mean, we managed to catch a grand total of 38 out of 973. Oh my god, I've made a terrible mistake. Hey, so thanks for watching my video. I hope it's okay for a first attempt. I put a lot of effort into it, if that's worth anything, but most of it was just learning Sony Vegas. It took so much longer than I thought it would. I really have much greater respect for all the other videos that I enjoy after doing this. Holy moly. I think I would really appreciate it if you like, subscribed, and hit the bell. We want to beat 72 subscribers so I can beat my friend from high school. That'd be really funny. I'd love to rub it in his face. As for the second video, I'll get it out when I can, and I have done a lot of the recording already. I've actually just got a little more to do because some complications came up. And you'll find out about that in the video. And I honestly really hope that you had a good time. I know that I'm going to look back on this video and I'm going to cringe and I'm going to hate it and I'll even probably be tempted to delete it. But at this point, I'm just happy that I got it out. I am so sick of starting projects and just stopping them because they get too difficult and they get too bloated and I just get bored. I have to prove to myself that I can actually do something when I put my mind to it. And, well, once this is out, I think that'll be good for me. So even if this video gets no views, at least I'll be happy that I did it. So, thank you again. I'll see you in the next one.